Welcome to your #1 destination for everything Nollywood, celebrity stories, trending conversations, and the moments that leave fans asking serious questions. Before we get into today's gist, please make sure you subscribe Nollywood Dish TV, turn on the notification bell and stay with us because this particular story is one that has got people looking beyond the movies and asking questions about what really happens behind the scenes. Now, imagine someone who has worked closely with you in the movie industry suddenly saying something that makes people look at your success from a completely different angle. That is exactly the kind of conversation that has started making people curious about Sonia Uche'S and Deza the Great. For some time now, fans have watched Sonia Uche'S grow from being one of the familiar faces in Nollywood movies to becoming a major force in the YouTube movie space. Her name appears regularly on successful productions. Her movies attract huge audiences and she has built a recognizable brand around herself. But the question many fans continue to ask is simple. What is really responsible for Sonia Uche'S success? Is it talent? Is it consistency? Is it her family background in filmmaking? Is it her ability to understand what viewers want? Or is there something else that people don't see when the cameras are turned off? And this is where Deza the Great enters the conversation. Deza and Sonia are not strangers professionally. They have appeared together in multiple productions, including Two Captains, while Deza also appeared alongside Sonia in Recipe for Trouble. Their professional collaborations are well documented. So naturally, whenever a fellow actor who has worked with Sonia talks about her career, fans become interested. And this time, some viewers are interpreting Deza's comments and their working relationship as though he may have revealed something about the secret behind Sonia's success. But is there really a secret? Or are fans simply reading too much into the situation? That is where today's story becomes interesting. Because Sonia Uche'S success did not happen overnight. She has been in the industry for years, and her career has developed alongside her work in front of and behind the camera. One thing that is difficult to ignore is her consistency. You can look at the number of productions associated with Sonia and immediately notice a pattern. She keeps working. She keeps appearing. She keeps creating. And perhaps most importantly, she keeps putting her name behind projects. That consistency is something many upcoming actors struggle to maintain. A person can become popular today and disappear from the conversation tomorrow. But Sonia has managed to remain visible. And that may be one of the biggest clues to her success. Now, here is where fans began paying attention to Deza the Great. Deza himself has become an increasingly recognizable name in Nollywood, and his filmography shows repeated professional collaborations with Sonia. One film database currently lists Sonia Uche'S among Deza's frequent co-stars, with several collaborations between them. That means Deza is not simply somebody who met Sonia once on a movie set. They have worked together enough for him to observe her professional approach. And this is why fans are curious whenever he talks about her. Could someone who has actually shared sets with Sonia know something ordinary viewers don't? Could he have seen the amount of work that happens before the audience sees the finished movie? Could he have witnessed the discipline, preparation, and persistence that people normally don't notice? Perhaps. But we should be careful here. There is currently no solid public evidence that Deza the Great revealed a hidden scandal, secret deal, or controversial arrangement behind Sonia's success. So when social media says Deza exposed Sonia Uche'S, viewers should not automatically assume that means he accused her of anything. Sometimes exposed is simply the language used online to make a story sound more dramatic. And you know how social media works. A harmless statement can become a headline. A compliment can become a controversy. A behind-the-scenes observation can suddenly become a bombshell. That is why we have to separate what is actually known from what fans are speculating about. Now, let's talk about the part that really makes Sonia's journey interesting. Sonia is not simply known because she appears in movies. She is also closely connected to production and the business side of filmmaking. That distinction matters. There are many talented actors in Nollywood. But being talented in front of the camera is only one part of building a successful career. You need to understand your audience. You need to understand distribution. You need to know how to promote your work. You need to work with people who understand the industry. And you need to keep producing content even when the attention moves elsewhere. That is where Sonia's career becomes particularly interesting. Her movies have repeatedly attracted large audiences online. For example, Recipe for Trouble, starring Sonia Uche and Deza the Great, was released on Sonia Uche TV and was described as a comedy movie featuring both actors. And that collaboration itself tells us something. Sonia and Deza have a working relationship that audiences clearly recognize. When viewers see their names together, they already have an expectation. They expect entertainment. They expect chemistry. They expect drama. They expect comedy. And that familiarity can become valuable in the YouTube movie industry. Think about it. When an audience already knows an actor, they are more likely to click on a movie featuring that actor. That click becomes a view. The view becomes engagement. The engagement helps the channel. And the cycle continues. This is one of the reasons consistency matters so much. Now imagine combining that with a strong production team, good stories, regular uploads, and actors who already have an audience. That can create something much bigger than individual popularity. It creates a brand. And perhaps that is the secret fans are actually searching for. Not a scandal. Not a hidden relationship. Not some mysterious shortcut. But strategy. Sonia Uche appears to understand that being successful in today's Nollywood is not only about acting. It is also about building an audience. And this is something Deza the Great may understand very well himself. His career has also evolved significantly. The Guardian reported in 2024 on Deza's growth in Nollywood and discussed how YouTube has become increasingly important to modern Nigerian filmmakers and actors. So when two actors who understand the digital side of Nollywood work together, it should not be surprising that their collaborations attract attention. But fans are still asking, why does Sonia seem to be moving so fast? Some believe her success is connected to her family. Others believe her success is purely because of her talent. Some say she has the right people around her. Others say the biggest secret is her work ethic. And then there are those who believe there is a bigger story behind everything. But without direct evidence, those remain opinions. One thing we can confidently discuss is Sonia's visibility. She has built a strong presence around her movie projects, and her name is regularly connected with productions that receive substantial online attention. A recent film database, for instance, lists Game for Two among Sonia Uche TV's productions and reports millions of views, while Recipe for Trouble is also listed with millions of views. That kind of audience response does not happen simply because somebody's name is placed on a poster. Viewers have to actually click. They have to watch. They have to share. And they have to return for the next production. So maybe the biggest exposure here is not a secret at all. Maybe it is the exposure of how much work goes into maintaining a successful Nollywood brand. And that is where Deza's connection with Sonia becomes interesting. Because Deza has worked with Sonia both as a fellow actor and within productions connected to her. That means he has potentially seen a side of her career that ordinary fans do not see. The long hours. The retakes. The rehearsals. The planning. The pressure. The business decisions. The constant demand to create something audiences will actually watch. And sometimes, the people watching from outside only see the glamorous part. They see the beautiful pictures. They see the millions of views. They see the premieres. They see the success. But they don't see the difficult days. They don't see the failed ideas. They don't see the projects that may not perform as expected. They don't see the pressure that comes with being responsible for a production. That is why the idea of Deza revealing the secret has caught people's attention. Fans want to know what happens behind the camera. They want to know whether Sonia is really as calm and calculated as she appears. They want to know whether she has a special formula. They want to know whether her success is carefully planned. And most importantly, they want to know whether there is something about her work ethic that fellow actors have noticed. But perhaps the answer is much simpler. Sonia may simply be very intentional about her career. And there is nothing controversial about that. In fact, it is probably one of the biggest lessons upcoming actors can learn from her journey. Talent can open the door. But consistency keeps you inside. Now, before we continue, if you are enjoying this gist, please take a moment to subscribe to Nollywood Dish TV. We bring you the stories, conversations, and behind-the-scenes moments that keep Nollywood fans talking. Now let's return to the biggest question. Did Deza actually expose Sonia Uche? At this point, we should say no confirmed evidence shows that Deza exposed Sonia over some secret wrongdoing. What we can confirm is that the two have collaborated professionally several times, and their names continue to appear together in Nollywood productions. So the phrase, expose Sonia Uche'S secret, should be treated as a dramatic interpretation for entertainment purposes, rather than a confirmed accusation. And honestly, that makes the story even more interesting. Because sometimes the truth is not as dramatic as the rumors. Maybe there was never a secret. Maybe there was simply hard work that people did not notice. Maybe Sonia's biggest advantage is that she understands the audience. Maybe it is her ability to work with experienced filmmakers. Maybe it is her consistency. Maybe it is the support of people around her. Or maybe it is all of these things combined. And this is where I think fans need to be fair. When somebody becomes successful, people often want to believe there must be something hidden behind the success. But sometimes, success really can be the result of years of preparation. Sonia Uche has been active in Nollywood for years. Deza the Great has also built his own career over many productions, and their repeated professional collaborations show that they are part of the same wider digital filmmaking ecosystem. So instead of immediately asking, what secret is Sonia hiding, perhaps the better question is, what can upcoming actors learn from the way Sonia has built her career? And the answer may be consistency, branding, collaboration, and understanding the audience. Still, fans are not going to stop asking questions. Because whenever Sonia and Deza appear together, people pay attention. Whenever a new movie drops, people want to know what the chemistry will look like. And whenever somebody connected to the production says something about how things work behind the scenes, social media immediately starts investigating. That is the power of Nollywood today. The audience is no longer just watching movies. They are watching the actors. They are watching the producers. They are watching the friendships. They are watching collaborations. They are watching social media posts. And sometimes they create stories from the smallest interactions. So, could Deza the Great really know the secret behind Sonia Uche'S success? Possibly, in the sense that he has worked closely with her professionally. But has he publicly exposed some shocking secret that proves Sonia's success is based on something controversial? There is no reliable evidence of that from the sources I could verify. And that distinction is very important. Because here at Gistway TV, we can give you the drama, the suspense, and the questions without presenting rumors as facts. One thing, however, remains undeniable. Sonia Uche has become a recognizable force in the digital Nollywood space, and her repeated collaborations with actors like Deza the Great show that she is firmly part of the current YouTube-driven movie ecosystem. So perhaps the biggest secret is not a secret at all. Perhaps it is simply this. Keep working when people are not watching, so that when they finally look your way, they see the results. And if Deza the Great's connection to Sonia has taught fans anything, it is that the story behind a successful Nollywood movie can be just as interesting as the movie itself. But now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Sonia Uche's success is mainly because of her talent and hard work, or do you believe there is a bigger strategy behind her rise? And what do you think about her repeated collaborations with Deza the Great? Is it simply good professional chemistry, or do you think fans are right to pay closer attention? Tell us what you think in the comments. And please, if you enjoyed this gist, subscribe to Nollywood Dish TV, turn on the notification bell and come back for more Nollywood stories. Because here, we don't just watch the movie. We look at the story behind the story. This is Nollywood Dish TV, and until the next gist, stay tuned.